I'm showing you the girl's fingers, the heel that I showed you not so long ago. Just a reminder, her shoe size is 35 and she leads quite an active lifestyle. But sometimes it happens that you need to take care of your feet because you're planning to wear open shoes. And here we have this kind of problem. Look how deeply the corner goes into the fold. But the thing is, there's no point in putting a correction system here. In the video, I'm now showing that all her sneakers, the ones she calls super comfortable, actually constantly squeeze her foot. Because even though she has a modest size 35, her foot is quite wide, which is why the bunion is growing. And we also see an empty space on the side, which we won't be cleaning up today either, because it absolutely doesn't make sense since she will keep running. Here I'm showing her shoes, which she says are comfortable. Clients often say they're soft, textile, and nothing presses on me. But obviously from the video it's clear that the width absolutely doesn't match, even though the size is actually a bit bigger. For clarity, I showed her the insole. You can also do this with your clients because this is exactly the method that will help you convince the client that their toes don't fit perfectly. Place it on a flat surface and apply weight to fully spread the foot. But even when the foot is off the ground, it's clear that her toes are being pulled into these sneakers and just can't fit. After I explained everything to her, we began the pedicure. I used talcum powder as usual and applied it generously. In order for the drill bit to work well, I'm going to use one with a yellow band. I want to point out that there are some challenges here. I asked how the client cuts her nails and she said, well, sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable, so I cut as much as I can and then I just tear off the corner. And this is a very common problem. Write in the comments if you or your friends have this problem, where you can't reach inside with scissors or clippers. And that's why you end up tearing it all off. And this incorrect way of trimming your nails can actually cause them to grow in further, and in our case the nails are just stuck and it's almost impossible to file them there. It's okay, but with the help of a drill I'll do my best to carefully clean out the most hard to reach areas. Now I'm moving on to the big toe, and for now I'll be cleaning out this kind of onycholysis. The thing is, if we remove and clean all of this now, it will look great and beautiful. The problem is this only addresses the consequence, so we won't solve the issue or eliminate the root cause of onycholysis. And that means tomorrow she'll jump into her favorite running sneakers again and go for a run, and that in turn will put stress on her toe again. And now instead of a nail bed that's covered by the nail plate with onycholysis, we'll be left with just an exposed nail bed. It also won't be protected by anything, so the toe will get unnecessary pressure on unprotected tissue, which will also have certain consequences. That's why we'll leave everything as it is and just do a careful, hygienic, and absolutely superficial pedicure. Because here we have a situation that we just have to accept as it is for now. I explained to my model that it's important to address the root cause, not just what happens afterward. Of course, I filed down the length as much as possible. Obviously, a perfectly smooth shape isn't possible here, and gel polish isn't relevant in this situation. I took scissors to trim whatever I could wherever possible and used a curette to check the corners after opening everything up, but my main goal was not to overdo it and not to over-clean, because the nails are already deeply embedded in the skin and any excessive actions here can actually be very, very harmful. After the pedicure, I carefully degreased the nail plate because I plan to apply decorative polish, but before that I will definitely place a tamponade there. This is a special material that I gently place under the nail using a curette. This is necessary first of all to separate the tissues of the lateral nail fold and the edge of the nail plate, and also to lift the nail itself. Because the client admitted that she feels some discomfort and inconvenience, although in fact this is visible even to the naked eye. When placing the tamponade, it's important to ask the client if the amount is comfortable for her. We did this. I asked her how comfortable she was, and of course I warned her that if she suddenly felt uncomfortable or if something was bothering her, she could either remove it herself or come to our salon for help. While placing the tamponade, we determined she was comfortable with no pressure or discomfort. And now let's move on to the actual coating to cover the nail plate. In this case, I picked a new polish line from Iris K called Pure Fit, which features a magnetic effect. Moreover, they don't require any base or top coat, you just apply them on their own. I wear this polish too, just in a different shade, and suggested it because it's not too bright and has a slight shimmer. It'll be perfect for summer, and you can even add a bit of magnetism. I don't wear it thick, just 2 thin coats. And of course, on small nails like the second, third, and fourth fingers, we obviously won't get much of an effect, but that's okay. Either way, the feet look much neater and better groomed now. Honestly, I already saw in her stories that she was wearing sandals and a beautiful dress, apparently heading to a celebration. That really makes me happy. And to all the professionals, I want to say, don't forget that now there are both red gel polishes and regular polishes on the market. We've come a long, long way. Look, we have polishes with cat eye effects, which means we can use a magnet on them. We have so many wonderful options, and if you use this system correctly, I can say for sure that it lasts perfectly on the feet, so it will definitely last on the hands as well. Everything lasts from correction to correction. That is 3 to 4 weeks, depending on how often the client visits you as a technician. I will definitely leave a link to the polish in the description. As always, we finish the procedure with oil and let the client go with beautiful feet. Just in case, I'm attaching a photo and reminding you what these toes looked like before the treatment.